What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. We'll teach you a little bit of camera knowledge here. So I'm looking into this one, but I got this one and this one looking at me, and I got a bad habit of talking with my hands. So I have to hold a coffee cup to keep from doing this the entire time. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a story that I've been wanting to tell for so long, but I was scared to. We've had some fun ones on here, and we've had some stories that are, about some interesting characters. But this by far, this guy was very, I don't want to say inspirational, but very interesting to me. And I met this guy at a very young time in my life. These are the molding years of my life. And I worked for him. I guess the best way to tell you the story, start from the top. I told you guys about cleaning up cars in high school. I ran a little detail shop with my buddy Josh. He helped me do it. And we went around to car lots cleaning up cars. And, I told you about the car lot that had all the video poker machines in the back. But I also cleaned up cars for the guy I'm talking about. And this is actually where I met him. And this guy was so interesting. Every time you meet him, you would learn something new. And the best way to describe this guy, he's probably, at the time, late 50s, maybe early 60s, bigger guy. Definitely not from South Carolina. Definitely got like that soprano kind of vibe from him. Always wore like the wife beater under that you could see through his button-up shirt. He always wore slacks and dress shoes. Gold pinky ring, that guy. And his name was Fat. I don't know if that was his God-given name or whatever, but his name was Fat. I stopped by and handed him a business card, a flyer, and said, hey, we clean up cars, yada, yada, yada. And he goes, I'll give you boys a call. And like I said, you got that weird Godfather soprano vibe from him. And, he called me up, and I'll never forget the very first time I picked up a car to clean up. And my thing was, I would drive over there, and I would leave my pickup or my Mustang, wherever I was driving, and lock it up, and I'd take their car to my house and clean it up and bring it back. All these car lots were within minutes of my house. Living at home, mom and dad. It was so weird. All these car lots were really weird about turning a kid loose in them. As a matter of fact, I literally just renewed my dealer's insurance an hour ago. And, one of the big things is, nobody under the age of 21 driving any of the vehicles and stuff. I'm a 17-year-old kid in high school. And these guys turned me loose driving these cars. They really didn't know me that well, although I did leave a car behind, I guess. That was typically nicer than what I was cleaning up. Well, he sent me with a car and I cleaned it up and I come back and he goes, and the thing was funny is I never seen the man stand. He was always sitting in just an old desk chair. His car lot was an old gas station, so it had all the glass out front, 2 bay doors, and he had cars sitting all out front. It used to be like, like an old style gas station, kind of like what we mimic here. He would just be sitting at that desk. Bloodshot eyes, thinning hair. That guy, real red-faced. There was always, you'd see a bottle of liquor, something out, whatever, And it was so funny, he would never get up. He'd pay me in cash. So I cleaned up a car. Did good. It looks good. He'd never get up. He had a couple little cronies that worked for him, typical shady characters. Actually, my felon friend, the guy that was really good with locks, he actually worked for Fat also. It's kind of funny how all these birds flock together. So, I cleaned up a few more cars for him, kind of got to making friends with him, a little bit. We'd poke around and laugh. And I'll never forget, there's a Greek restaurant down the street from his car lot, and he paged me. I was at this Greek restaurant with a girl, and her, it's kind of like a little lunch date or whatever. Matter of fact, we were skipping school, but he paged me, and I walk out to my truck and called him. I said, hey, Fat, you got a car for me to pick up? He goes, no. He goes, are you at blah, blah, blah restaurant? And I said, yeah. He goes, get the out of there. He's a loser. Okay, well, all right, man. Just never really said anything more than that. real firm. So we left. I'll be honest with you, I mean, we were almost done eating anyway, so we left. Didn't think nothing about it. The next week, he paged me. Hey, I got a couple cars for you to clean up. Cleaned those cars up and came back. He goes, you ain't been back to that restaurant, have you? I said, no, sir. Man, he didn't say that restaurant, but I can't repeat on YouTube how he described it. He goes, good. He said, I never want to see you back there again. All right. So I got paid for cleaning up those cars. 2 weeks later, the restaurant burnt to the ground. So, of course, I go back, following a few weeks, pick up some more cars, walk in and talk to my old buddy Fat. I said, man, Fat, I said, you hear about blah, blah, blah burning down? He goes, yeah, I heard something about that. Sipping. He always drank out white cups too, which is hilarious. You see, I heard something about that. So I went to walk out the door. He goes, you're a good kid. He said, I like you. He said, you're honest and you do what's right. But he said, I like how you do things. He said, you hustle. He said, I've been talking about you. So I've heard a lot about you. I said, that's good. He said, I heard you selling some cars. I said, yeah. He said, I like that. He goes, sit down. Someone will talk to you. I'm so nervous. Sweaty palms. I'll never forget. He goes, son, there's some things you're going to learn in this business. He said, you're going to meet some people that are good as gold. He said, you're going to meet some people that are literally the scum of the earth. And your job is to figure out which one they are first before they figure you out and use you. I'm a 17-year-old kid, and he's just dropping this on me. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you got to watch people. And he's like, more than watch. He goes, I like you. He said, you remind me a lot of one of my sons. And he named where he lived. It was somewhere up north. And he goes, he's a good kid. And he said, then you got my other son. He said, I put one through college. He said, I put the other one through a wall. It started freaking me out a little bit. I mean, he just kept getting deeper and deeper into this. I've been sitting there about 10 minutes at this point. But he pulls out this pill bottle and starts shaking it. But it don't have pills in it. And he tosses it at me. It's got teeth in it. You can see where the label been peeled off of it. It's old. I mean, there's probably 20 teeth in this thing. It's little, like teeth. I mean, teeth in there, like blood and teeth, or you know what I'm saying. He goes, that's what happens to the scum. He said, it's a memento. It's a reminder. You keep your head on straight and you keep doing like you're doing. Back to the restaurant thing. All right, this is creeping me out. You hand me a damn bottle of teeth and tell me about a burnt down restaurant. Moving on, I cleaned up cars for him a few more times. A few more months goes by. He cut where he would call you less and less. There was less cars out there. You could tell it's kind of slowing down a little bit. And then keep in mind, he was an older guy. Had a couple old RVs. I didn't mess with anything like that. And then I drove by. Keep in mind, I passed this little car lot every day, going to school, going home, all the time. Next thing you know, there's police tape out there. Cop cars everywhere. An old fat got arrested. And the reason I'm telling you this story now, I've been wanting to tell you, I love this. it was so weird what I was doing. And I didn't even know at the time. I just knew this guy was shady. The son, and actually, I'm good friends with the son he likes. I actually moved down here. Owns a strip club now, which is hilarious. It's so interesting, these people you meet. And then his son telling me his dad's background and his ties from where he came from up north and how he came down here just to retire. And little did you know that the South is kind of like a gangster's paradise. They come down here to take it easy. But one thing they also don't take is no shit still. Fat died in prison. He actually died a couple years ago. It's so funny that somebody that's that shady and that bad, but saw that drive and that hustle in me. I mean, this dude, I could have been on the damn side of a milk carton somewhere missing. I was a little runt kid that was cleaning up cars for him. but he saw that hustle and that drive, and he still supported that. This goes to show you, just because you're bad, don't necessarily mean you're bad. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not saying anything, but old Fat was okay in my book. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. God almighty, what the It's my attorney calling. That's hilarious. Pause. Hello?
Hey, Robert. It's Joyce again.
Hey.